Let's click over on the histogram data. And this file. It's kind of messy and it's got lots of data over here in columns A and B. Let's look at the graph. The histogram graph is really a kind of bar chart. And what's special about it is how exactly those bars are arranged, where it starts, how long each of the bars represents. That's really what's special about it. Some of these things in here look kind of funny. It has a graph title, :S&P 500 data, all that jazz. That actually flows through from the previous slide. So this yellow title up here, I can put whatever I want right here in H1, and that will change the title over here in the histogram. So all the yellow things are the values that matter. Now histograms are described in terms of the number of bins, the size of each bin, and I also gave a starting value. These blue cells over here, they're a little hard to read. Let me make that, we'll make it a lighter blue for us to read a little better. But the minimum overall value in the list was a -21.76, and the highest overall value was 16.3. So that's going to help me in managing these numbers over here so that I make my graph right. So it ranges from the values listing as below -16 to above 15.2. Well, I don't really want to go a whole lot farther outside of that range because my actual data only goes from -21.76 to 16.3. So for whatever that data represents. I'll add that column B is where these numbers are coming from. Column A is frequently something you'll want, but I just have these numbers over here in column B, and the column B are the numbers that are really getting used. Okay, so this is what my histogram looks like. What you're going to want to be doing is to, for your data, determine the number of bins you want and the size of each bin. So let's suppose I really wanted only 10 bins. Let's just hit enter on that and go back to our graph. You're going to see that this has drastically changed my graph. You want to have a meaningful histogram, and to find out what number of bins you want and how big each should be, you typically are going to want to play around with this. So if I change the number of bins, this is really going to change the size of each of the bins I'll want. So let's just try 3, see what that does. And that looks like it might be what I want. Let's say I wanted more bins. Let's say I had 30 bins, and maybe I want each of them to be 1.1, size 1.1 each. My graph has changed there. If for some reason I wanted to change my starting value, let's make it -25. That's certainly going to change my histogram as well. It moves everything over is kind of what that does. Well, let's move it back. Let's make it -10. Enter. And I'll see my histogram now it moves the other direction. All right, so you have the option of changing quite a bit of information in these histograms, and that's how those will work together. Hope that helps. As always, let me know if you have questions.